Well, a little bit later than billed, but welcome one and all to All Four Back, the weekly podcast here, broadcasting all your STS action of the previous week. Of course, my name is Chester430, aka Dan Winchester, joined as always by Mr. Hadlington83.
Good evening, all.
And a good evening to Shaz as well. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Al, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I hope we're all sorry for the delay in the start time tonight. It's because of work commitments. I had to start a little bit earlier tonight, but we're here as always. Looking forward to a bumper nights meeting here as part of the All Four Back podcast. We're going to have the SCS and the BGP draws coming up in a few moments' time. And of course, our special guest tonight is Sizzler. But we're going to start off tonight, of course, chaps, with it was league action just recently. And we first had a trip to the Hackney Norsk, and they took on the Cowboys. And again, Shads, your thoughts on the Cowboys match? Because they ran away with that one, didn't they?
Yeah, I was hoping we'd see some kind of improvement from Norse this week. I suppose they did manage to improve. They scored more points than they did the previous week in the KO Cup meeting. But oh boy, those 4-5-1s in 6 heats, I think, midway was sort of killed them off really.
Yeah,
I was happy to see them get a 5-1 though. They got a 5-1 in heat 4, but they were just a 3-man side.
Well, it is still early days for Hackney. They're still relatively new into the league. But again, they're still yet to get across that 40-point barrier. But I think in terms of the Norse, course, we want them to do well. We want to get that first one, I think, because that'll give them the boost they have for the rest of the season. Of course, week 7, the averages change, so of course riders will swap positions here and there. But again, looking through the scores for the Cowboys, I mean, they were solid throughout. Surprising to see Stefan drop a point in his fourth, by getting the 3rd place, but again, joint top scorer Bobby, that was a job well done for him.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I expected a landslide, and not a lot I can say about it really. I mean, we seem to be telling the same story every week. I mean, most people are really desperate to see them do well. I mean, they used to guess this week. I mean, Craigie made his league debut after riding in the STS, I think, in the last meeting. I think he won a race as well in that. But I mean, he only managed 1 point. I think now he knows what STS league racing is all about, I suppose. You want my man of the meeting for both teams?
Yes, please, mate, if
I
possible.
think we're going to go with the scores in the Norse team. I'm going to go with Max. I think he missed the meeting, so it's good to have him back. I think they missed him. And for Cowboys, I'm going to go with Thrax again, because I think Thrax has shown some definite improvement the last couple of weeks. I know it's only against Norse, no disrespect to Norse, but I think scoring points and winning races will give him a boost. I think I'll give it to Thrax.
Okay. So again, a couple of decent results in this match. Of course, 57-33 in favour of the Cowboys, which sort of solidifies them in the top 3 of the league. So that the top of the league's looking very, very tasty, which of course then brings us on to the next match that took place over the week. And that was the Scorchers versus the Storm. And well, as you can see there from the scoreline, it was the Scorchers 46, Hyde Storm 44. The Storm have their first defeat of the season. Had your thoughts on that one, mate? I mean, 46-44, that went right down to the wire.
Yeah, it did, but I'd just like to do a little point there, Dan. It wasn't the first defeat in the league, it was, yeah, but obviously we all know who gave them the first defeat the week before.
I wasn't going to say, but I thought I'd let you say it. I'd let you say it, Mads. Give you the pleasure.
Well, I knew what I meant when I said that. You know, I knew they had the KO Cup defeat, but in terms of the league, that was their first one of the season. Of course, the Storm. Yeah. When you saw the Storm, sort of first of all, when they were signed in team building, you thought that, okay, this Storm team with like Craig, Powys, Ads MFT actually missed tonight's that match with they obviously they had the rider replacement for him. Was that the Achilles where they needed to have that extra rider in for that scoreline to be potentially different?
Yeah, absolutely. The Volder replacement only got scored 2 and 1, and that was Powys in Heat 12 when he got a 5-1 with Craig. Obviously, Ads is going to score more than 2, so I think they still missed him massively in the middle of the team against the Scorchers. But it was strange to see Craig winning 2 last places. I mean, I don't know how much practice he's been doing, but I think that got off to a good start. Storm, they were leading by 6 points after the first 3, and I thought, oh, they're just going to run away with it. But the Scorchers, credit to the Scorchers, I think it was 6 heat advantages after that in the next 8. So they led by.
Yeah, they had 5-1 in 4, 5-1 in 5, a 4-2 in 7, 5-1 in 8, and then a 4-2 in 9, a 4-2 in 10.
Yeah. So they led by 12 after Heat 10. I mean, the couple of 5-1s pulled it back for the Storm in 12 and 13. But they still needed to get the 2 points. I mean, if I actually watched the last few races of this meeting, for anybody who didn't watch it, go and watch Heat 15 because the run to the line. I mean, I don't think Skyrider can still believe it now how Limo got his wheels in line ahead of him running to the line to nick the 2 points. Otherwise, it would have been a draw. So it's good to see Limo back scoring double figures after his 3 wins earlier in the meeting as well.
I'm nice to see Tintin doing well from number 6 for the Scorchers. I mean, getting those 2 heat wins in his last 3. So obviously finished on 9 points. But again, your man of the matches for both teams, that one, please, Hads?
I'm going to go for Limo for the Scorchers. I know he's not had the best start to the season, and I think that was the first match they actually won at Birmingham as well. So he started off with a 1 point when they got 5-1 in the first race, but then reeled off the 3 wins in that important second. So I'll go for Limo for the Scorchers.
Yep.
And for the Storm, I think it has to be Powys because 13 and 1. He was the only Storm rider who didn't run a last place as well. And he was involved in the 5-1 in Heat 12 just before the nominations, which gave the Storm a bit of hope that they could still get something, which they did in the end.
And of course, missing Ads MFT certainly put that tie in the Scorchers' favour. Of course, that gives Hyde, it gives them, yes, their second defeat of the season, but gives them their first league defeat, which makes next week's or week after's match against the Warriors rather tasty because they have the unbeaten team of the Warriors against Storm, and of course the top 2 teams in the league so far. Looking for that one to be quite an entertaining match. We're hoping going to get that one streamed at some point. So hopefully do stick around and see. Hopefully we'll get the that top of the table clash done in some sort of streaming capacity. Obviously do keep an eye on the streams and Discord, and that way you can find out the information. And talking of the Warriors, they faced off against the Red Card Dynamite. And again, this one was another very close match with the home team winning 47-43. A rejuvenated Red Card team pushed the Warriors quite close this match again, 47-43, and it looked as if the Dynamite were going to get their backsides handed to them because after 7 races they were 30 points to 12 down, and it only took Heat 8 with a 5-1 that sort of then rekindled them, because then they had a couple of 4-2s and then a 5-1 in Heat 14 from 101 and Crook, which brought it to 45-39. And even though they had that, they weren't going to necessarily win the match on that day. They managed to get that 47-43 with that 4-2 in Heat 15, which brought them through into that finishing position. Of course, no track records, sadly, this week. Everyone's been behaving themselves. But Haddington, for yourself, mate, a slow start, but paid winning your 3rd ride and then a Heat win to finish off. Must be happy with that.
Yeah, after the first few heats, I thought, oh, here we go. It's beginning an absolute smashing, to be fair. I mean, they started so quickly. They were so quick out the gate. I mean, we couldn't live with them in the first 6, 7 heats. But when we got that 5-1, give us a bit of confidence. And then, we just kept believing that we could get back into it, just get in a little 4-2s here and there. And then once we got the 5-1 in 14 as well, it was like, if we can get a point out of this after being 18 points down. So the second half of the meeting was just brilliant from our point of view. I mean, the boys never gave up. And again, that man, number 6, I mean, I know Tank won't be happy, but he bought Tank's his paid maximum super dip, winning his last 2 races. Unbelievable again. I mean, these number 6s this year, they want to slow down and stop scoring all these points because I'll be there myself soon.
Stephen just says boo in the chat. But again, the Dynamite have had a few team changes this year. Obviously, you brought in. Who have you brought in again? I think you brought in Crook, I believe. Yeah, Crook. Yeah. Unfortunately for Lofty. But again, the team seems to be rejuvenated. Keeping matches, keeping results close. Not having excuse me, one-sided matches. But again, as I say, Shad says, those bleeding Dynamite again, maximum killers.
Yeah, that was against when I was riding for Warriors a couple of seasons ago. I was on for my first ever maximum ever, and they bunged him 101 in the tactical when we were about 30 points ahead, and he sport my maximum. I lost it out by a point.
Oh.
So we got. I haven't forgotten it.
Is that why you're giving dirty looks at Cardiff then? Because of that?
Yeah.
I'd like to mention here as well for the Warriors, by the way, Alan McNally.
Yes.
The improvement that he has made this season riding for Warriors. I mean, I know the end the Warriors won by 4 points, but if you look at Heat 6, we got a 5-1 with Ryan against myself and Stephen 101. And he gated so quickly, and Ryan did defend the majority of the race, but the improvement has been really, really good to see. I mean, he's scoring points now every meeting he's riding. So, whatever Tank's been feeding him is very good.
Good shout. Yeah.
But in terms of riders of the match for this one, I think for the Warriors, I would have to say Racer Ryan. Unbeaten up until his 4th ride, but then obviously dropped off, but still top scored ish with 11 points, even though he was beaten with the same scoreline from Stephen, because Stephen had those 2 bonus points in his first 2. But I will have to give it to Racer Ryan, also with those unbeaten 3 rides, first of all. And for the Dynamite, I'd have to I'd give it to Superdip. I gave it to Superdip last week because he was tied with someone else. I don't remember who it was. He was tied with to have rider of the day. But again, I definitely give it to Superdip there. And of course, that makes the table now look very, very tasty because Warriors now are currently still unbeaten at the top with a quite substantial lead in terms of the gap between them and Storm. But again, with the averages coming out I believe it's this week. This week is coming out the new averages, so the teams will shuffle their riding order a little bit. Is that right?
It is after, not the next league meeting. It's the meeting after.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying. So that was the review of the season. Well, in terms of from a neutral perspective, what do you think your highlight matches was this week? I'll start with you, Hads.
I think it was good to see the Scorchers have a full team. I know that they've had a few availability issues, and it just proves what they can do when they've got the top 6 riders
down a bit, Tank,
available. So yeah, I think it was good to see the Scorchers get their first home win in your home tracks. It's always good.
And Shaz, what about you, mate?
I think Dynamite. obviously getting a point at Somerset especially after the start of the meeting. I think when we were practicing and we were keeping an eye on the score, and we just said, "Oh, this is over." They're actually going to get absolutely slaughtered. And then little by little, they chipped away and got a point out of it, which surprised everyone. I think probably surprised the Warriors as well. So that would be my highlight of the week. I'm not going to talk about our meeting at Birmingham because I'll just start swearing and I don't want to do that.
Cough, cough.
although I must say it was a pleasure to beat Lima and Sizzler around the track, especially coming from the back in Heat 6. That's all I'm going to say about that meeting.
For me personally, I'd have to go for the Cowboys. Still getting that win against the North. I know it was against the North, but they've consolidated third place in the league so far, because you see it on the table. The Warriors, and we've got the Warriors on top, currently unbeaten with 12 points. Tied in second are Storm and Cowboys. Then you got Piemen on 6, tied with the Scorchers. Dynamite currently on 4, and Norsk yet to trouble the scorers, unfortunately. But I do believe the Norsk, they actually only practiced 20 minutes before the meeting started on that day. Hence why they been the whipping boys, so to speak. But hopefully see a improvement from the Norsk for their next match, which hopefully will be on that sheet. If Tank was scroll down, thank you, sir. So we have the Berwick Piemen against the Scorchers on the 31st of October, Halloween, so spooky special at 9 o'clock. You've got the Red Card Dynamite against the Hackney Norsk on the 28th of October at 8:30. And then the big one, Hyde Storm against Somerset Warriors, Thursday the 2nd of November at 9 o'clock. And a late start for those two, actually. I'm surprised it's a bit later these meetings. Any particular reason why it's been so late? Of course, Hadlington, your match is starting at 8:30, but then Shad's is starting at 9.
Yeah, I think it's.
Is there a reason?
I think it's obviously with the availability of the Warriors. I think Storm need 9 o'clock to get Craig in, from what I can gather. So possibly that is why, but not.
You're not 100% sure on that one?
Nope.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we have reached the first break of the show. And of course, as per normal, it is our STS Speedway question. But tonight, it's first of all, we're going to have the STS question, I believe. According to Hadlington's notes here, I got on my screen with me. Yep, so we've got the GPSCS draw after this. So the STS question, I believe, Shads, you've got one, haven't you, mate?
We're doing it the other way around, I think, Dan.
Oh, God's sake. That's right. So it's it's a Speedway question first, yeah? Which goes into the... Yeah, got it right. Okay. So, this question
didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I got the wrong sheet. Oh, I got the wrong sheet on. Anyways, of course, tonight's guest is Sizzler, a diehard Wolverhampton fan. This question is actually from himself. He actually gave it to us. So, of course, Wolverhampton celebrated 95 years at Monmore. But who remembers? I don't anyone will. Who remembers who were Wolverhampton's first opponents when they first opened? Who was Wolverhampton's first opposition when they first started 95 years ago? So get your thinking caps on, and we'll see back from the draw for the SCS and the BGP series right after this. I'm getting Tank to send me that after the stream. That's fantastic. That's I've got to say credit to Tank. He was doing that from 10 a.m. this morning till 7 now. So like 7
He's our
p.m.
new producer, Dan. He's our new producer.
Yes, he is. Producer Tank,
He's our
great one,
producer.
man. Fantastic. So Def makes it a lot more professional look. So right, so guys, we are switching gears. It is draw time for the upcoming SCS and GP series, taking place at I believe it's, where was it again? Vargana.
It is, yeah.
Vargana. So we're doing the Sliders GP first.
I've been practicing Vastovic. Oh dear.
So far there's all the names of
Are
the
we
riders
doing the
place.
answer to the question, Dan?
I was gonna, we might do. I don't know if you want to save that with Sizzler being linked to Sizz.
Sure.
Yes, we will. So just
Apologies.
so we'll keep that. Yes, we'll keep that until Sid's come back for the interview to get the Speedway question. Of course, he'll tell us the answer when he comes in. So you see the names there. You got Stefan, Powis, our guest tonight, Sizzler, Racer Ryan, JC, Squall, Craig, Crook, DL, Shaw, Zagar 55, Bobby, Shad, Don, Speedy, Haddington, and Fakey is the riders in this lineup. I believe the wild card for this match is who? I know that the SCS series is Capesy. I'm not sure who is in this one.
There's no wild card in the GPs, I don't think.
Of course not. Yes, right. Okay. So Tank, if you would be so kind to spin the first wheel. So riding at number 1, it will be DL Shaw. So DL Shaw goes in at number 1. Good draw for DL there. Next up, number 2. And that is Bobby. So Bobby goes in at number 2. So number 3 will be JC. Oh, so tough. Getting a very tough heat 1 there by the looks of it. And who will join them in heat 1 going in number 4? And it'll be Fakey. So Fakey goes in at number 4. Next up, number 5. And it will be that's close. It's Powis. Oh, Powis goes in at number 5. That was so close there. Almost went to Stefan there. So number 6. Number 6 will be number 66, Crook 66. So number 7. Still some big hitters yet to be drawn out. And it is Shads. Shads, you going at number 7, my friend?
Hello, lucky 7.
Yeah. Number 7. So number 8 coming up now. And it'll be Don's 101. Goes in at number 8. So still some big hitters. Number 9 it will be the statistician Squall. He'll be at number 9. So we're getting close there. Who's in at number 10? Still some big hitters yet to be brought out in this draw. As I say that, Stefan gets drawn at number 10. So the man who's pretty much the main man of this season goes in at number 11. Next up will be Racer Ryan. I believe that number 12 for Racer Ryan, I believe. So still some big hitters here for this match. Who's next? And it will be Speedy. Speedy goes in. So next up. No pressure on this one, Hadlington. It'll be Sizzler. Wow. So 2 former world champions, Hadlington 83. Who is next? Taking their place in the meeting, it will be Craig. So Craig goes in, I believe that's at number 14. So 2 left. Who's at 15? And it is... Oh, Zagar, 55, goes in at 15. Which leaves number 16, just to make it official. Hadlington, you go in at number 16. So your thoughts on that, Had? Because you've been drawn in at number 16.
Yeah, I've just looked. Tank's actually updated the spreadsheet as he's done it, and I've already looking at the heats. I've just saw heat number 9. I'm against 2 of my teammates, Cook and DL Shaw, all in the same race, the Rugby Race of Ryan. That's going to be a tough one. And then my 4th heat, I've got JC, Stefan, and Paris. So doesn't get any easier, does it?
Oh well, this meeting is the top of the line, as they say. So looking at the spreadsheet there, and you've got some really tasty looking lineups. In fact, all these races are pretty good. Of course, Vargana is a track that I haven't actually heard of. I haven't seen. But again, it's looking very, very, very tasty. This Grand Prix series. If we can have a look at the standings so far, please, Tank, who would be so kind. I thank you all. So far we have Stefan out in the lead on 32 points. He's 12. Is that 12 ahead? No. It looked like a 0 from going back there because Tank's using his ant vision again. It's still very close between Racer Ryan and Stefan at the top there, and Powis. In fact, even the top 8 are still really, really close. I mean, Hadlington, you're clinging on to 7th place there in the standings after your consistency with your 7 points in round 1. You jumped up to 9 points in round 2. But what's your thoughts going into round 3?
Just to try and keep that consistency and try and get 7 or 8 points every meeting, because obviously I know Craig and JC, they missed the last one, so they'll be looking to play catch up. But I was in the same position last season. I think I was in the top 8 until after the last round, and I got pipped by like 2 or 3 points. So yeah, if I can just push on a little bit more, hopefully get a couple of semi-finals somewhere. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, to have like Stefan and Racer Ryan at the top there, of course, Racer Ryan's now he's put on a little bit of form, which is obviously shown in his last round where he got 20 points out of 21. So he's put himself right up in the window for the top spot. Of course, the top 8 in this season are guaranteed positions for next season 19 Sliders Grand Prix Series. Of course, then the top 4, so from 9 down to I'm looking at Tank's small right in here. Top 8 from the GP Series might qualify for season 19 series. Top 3 in season 18 SCS. Thank you, Tank. Season 18 World Champion might qualify for season 19. Top 3 from S19 GP Challenge, or top 4 if World Champion is already in the series. So again, it is looking very, very tasty with still plenty of rounds, plenty of points still to go. Of course, this series, as well as the SCS series, go into next year. I think round 8's in like March of 2024, if I'm correct to say. I'm not sure. Yeah, Sunday the 10th of March 2024 at Bellevue. So still a long way to go in this season. Of course, it goes into next year too. Shaz, going to bring you in, mate. Currently on 11 points, on 13th place on 11 points. We had Haddington's thoughts on his meeting. What are your thoughts on round 3?
I don't know. Like you, I don't know the track. I mean, obviously I'd heard of it. I probably raced on it in fun servers late at night, but I don't remember it. I've scored 1 point more in round 1, so if it keeps on going the same way, I should be getting into the final by round 8.
Oh man.
Yeah. I just couldn't do it. I mean, obviously I'm going to struggle to make the top 8 unless a lot of people miss meetings, which I can't see. Some of them pretty consistently. They race every meeting. There's only a few that tend to miss 1 or 2 meetings, but just going to enjoy it. There's no pressure on me, so I'm just going to enjoy it and just do my best to make a gate or 2.
Yeah, definitely. So with that being said, we're gonna switch gears to the second draw we're doing tonight, which is the SCS series. So we're just gonna get our producer to switch the screen so we can see the second draw. Of course, the wild card in this match will be, as it's already been mentioned, will be Capesy. So we're going to see Capesy getting his chance at a wild card spot. Just waiting for Tank to change the screen. But chaps, I want to go just a quick one before we do change the screen. That top 3. We have a tech issue with Tank, so do hang fire. Seeing Stefan, Racer Ryan, Powers on the top 3 there. 3 really good riders. Do you think that those positions will keep the same, or do you think it'll be sort of midway through the season it will change hands?
I think we can expect those 3 to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. I mean, that Ryan started the season really, really well. Stefan. We all know what Stefan's about. He's going to be up there. But obviously the consistency, I think, where you've got Ryan with 9 points in the first round, I think the consistency will probably come from Paris scoring that 12, 13 points every round. If he's not going to be far off if he does that every round.
I agree with Hads there. I mean, we see round 1, Ryan had a mediocre meeting by his standards. I think Harris is very consistent with his scoring wherever he goes. I mean, in the league this year, he's very consistent. He rarely has a bad meeting. You don't really see him have a bad meeting. Whereas with Ryan, he does tend to have one or two, not shockers, but mediocre meetings. So I think the top three. I think you don't discount Crook. Don't discount Crook as well. But he's not as consistent as Paris. But I think Stefan and Paris will be the top 2, and then be either Ryan or Crook. But I can't see anyone else probably in the top 3.
Well, Danny has just said in the chat that the top 3 in the GPs are the top 3 in the league averages, he believes. So your top 3 top riders are in the top 3 positions.
Good knowledge. Good knowledge.
Yeah. Looking at that bottom 8, though, just out of curiosity, of course, a couple of riders have missed the last round. Of course, Craig and JC. But also Zagar as well. I mean, world champion there of Zagar, former champion in Zagar with Craig as well. And Dons as well, missing both the first 2. I mean, this round 3 is looking quite tasty. I mean, if Craig and JC can put themselves back in the shop window, they could be pushing for that top 8 spot, because of course the only person between Craig and the top 8 is going to be Fakey and Squall. I mean, with Craig on his day, he can potentially beat anybody if he puts his mind to it. So we are ready now for the SCS draws. Our tech issue has been fixed from our producer. So Tank, whenever you are ready, good sir. So again, this match takes place in conjunction with the main series. So, Mr. Tank, would you draw the first number, please? So, first out of the hat will be the wild card, Capesy. So, Capesy straight in at number 1. He'll be joined in Heat 1 at number 2 by Mr. Wolfie. So, Wolfie goes in at number 2. Number 3 will be Badger Racing. So Badger Racing goes in at number 3. Number 4. Storm Captain Lango goes in at number 4. At number 5. Le Sorcier. The Sorcier will be at number 5. Next at number 6 will be Ads MFT. So again, another Storm Rider taking his place at number 6. Ads MFT. Number 7. Will be Mackinnon. So Mackinnon goes in at 7. Next at number 8 will be Ben Thompson going in at number 8. At number 9 will be David No Fear goes in at number 9 for the SCS draw. Next we have number 10. Still some big names in this match, of course. Wolf the wild card, who was in the first round. He's now back in the meeting full time as Stephen gets number 10. Tank in at number 10. Moving on to number 11. Still some big names in this match. And it will be Schoolio. It almost landed on Pompey there, but Schoolio gets number 11. Looking now to number 12. Still quite some heavy hitters here. And we have at number 12, it will be everyone's favourite biscuit. That's Hobnob. Goes in at 12. Now, number 13. Who is it going to be for? Who's got the unlucky 13? It's 101. Oh, Stephen 101's got an unlucky 13 there. So, Scotty B, Wolf, and Pompey still left to be drawn. Number 14 now. And 14 will be Scotty B. Scotty B goes in at 14. So 2 more to go. Who's number 15? Pompey or Wolf? Pompey or Wolf? It's going to be Pompey at 15. Which leaves, by process of elimination, this year's permanent stand-in will be Wolf 95 going in at number 16. So our thanks to Tank for conveying and surveying the conducting, that's the word I'm for, conducting the SCS and the BGP draws. And again, some big names in this one as well, chaps. Shaz, I'll come to you first, mate, if I can. Some big names, big hitters in this one. This can go anybody, can't it?
Yeah, it can do, but you're looking at if you're going by previous rounds, you're looking at Warriors riders to dominate this one. Stephen, Scotty, and Badger. What would you see past one of those three? To be honest with you, I looked at 101 at the start of the season, but he's missed a meeting, and he's not been at his best this season. I think Hads would probably agree. He's not been his dominant best. I mean, rubbish, but the lead now is, 17 points behind Badger, which is a lot to catch up even for him, assuming he doesn't miss any more. Yeah, I'm still looking at the three, maybe even Wolf might even get in there. So looking at the Warriors rise to dominate this. I can't pick one of those three, but one of those three I reckon will win it.
Steven says me at number 10. I guess being in committee, that's as an apt tank for PM. Oh, a tank. Hads, I'm going to bring you in as well, mate. Again, this match looks very tasty on paper. A lot of big hitters. Of course, you've got Ads MFT, you've got Stephen 101, Badger Racing, current series leader as well, and of course Scotty B, Wolf, all and Tank as well. Those can literally bring a surprise wherever they go.
Yeah, I mean the SCS. I think this is probably the strongest field we've had. I think it's the third year of the SCS. I think this is the strongest field. I mean, if people don't drop out, this is going to be. It's now a tough series. I mean, we got Wolf added in now instead of BW. So, be interesting to see how he goes. But it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't think there's a lot to choose. Can the riders who started the season well for the Warriors, can they maintain that form in the individual meetings? We'll have to wait and see. But I'd expect the likes of Ads and Stephen to be challenging for the top 3 spots come the end of the round, end of the season, if they don't miss any more rounds.
They're looking at the table here. We've got, even though we had that 21 pointer in his first round, Wolf is actually still in the top 5, and of course the top 3 from this meeting or from this tournament go through to as automatic qualifiers for the BGP series in season 19. Do you think that top sort of 3 to 11, or so top 3, and then you got the 4 to 11? Do you think any of those will possibly? Because of course you've got Ads MFT in 12th there, currently on 10 points, so he could potentially, the way he goes, he gets some big points. He could be challenging for that last qualifying spot, or even going into the top 3. How's going to bring you in first, mate, for this one? Of course, looking at that top 3, Badger's been consistent these first 2 rounds, scoring 15 points in each. In fact, him and Scotty B have scored the same points in the first 2 rounds, hence why they're top. So even that 21 pointer from Wolf in the first round, he missed the second round, and that's what's cost him that top spot, because I believe he had some internet issues, which forced him to drop out of that meeting, unfortunately. But do you think if Wolf had that didn't have that issue, do you think he would have been a top contender for the last match?
He was actually scheduled to ride in the GP in the last round, I believe it was, as a replacement for somebody. I don't think he got put into the SCS until after the second round, if I think that's right. If I'm not quite sure, can't remember.
Yeah, I think Bewitcher pulled out before the second round, hence why Wolf came in.
But Wolf was down to ride in the GP in the last round, so I'm not sure. But the Warriors guys in this have started really, really well. I mean, hence by the top of the table, consistency from the top 3 in the positions there. But Le Sorcier, I think it's been interesting to see how much practice he's doing and how if he can maintain it by not racing in the league this year. But there's a couple of underneath this qualifying spots, I think. The likes of David Nofia and Wolfie. They both missed a round, but if they can find that consistency, I think that they're more than capable of being in that top 4 to 11 as well. So,
Shaz, I'll bring you in as well, mate, if I can. Basically, the same question. What's your thoughts on that? Actually, I've just been told by in the chat by Tank that Wolf was replacement in the BGP, then switched to the SCS now also before meeting. Only became permanent replacement for Buick after round 2. Thank you for the clarification there, Tank. But Shaz, your thoughts on this one? The top 3. Are they likely to keep the positions, or will any of the bottom half will they all take control?
No, I don't think so. I think top 3 will stay in the top 4 or 5, at least the top 4, and maybe Wolf will sneak in if he can get his net sorted and race in every meeting. But I can't see Badger and Stephen missing any meetings. I might see Scotty having to, maybe, I don't know. But Badger and Stephen seem to be about all the time. They don't seem to miss many meetings, and they've been pretty consistent. I think Stephen will end up finishing 1st or 2nd. I think he's probably my favourite at the moment to win it. At the moment, it changes from week to week.
It does, because of course they've gone back. They're reverted back to the you get the points within the meeting. You don't have like a certain amount and then get a total at the end. You continue the points through the meeting.
Yeah, it's not like the GP where everyone's expecting Stefan to win it. Everyone's, he had a bit of a blip in the last meeting. I don't think he made the final, but everyone's expecting him to up his game, and it's a battle to whoever can finish 2nd, really. But with this one, looking at the top 3, it's any one of those 3 could win it, which makes it more interesting for the neutrals.
Wow, Hads, do you think the same of that? What Shad's just said?
I can see one of the Warriors guys winning it. I think for consistency, I think Badger started well. Can he maintain that? I'm not sure. Because obviously he'll be going up the riding order for his team. That could affect him a little bit, maybe. But I think for consistency, I think we have to go with Stephen. He's going to be what they're challenging. But I'm not sure. I still think somebody out of that top 3 currently could get in. There's a long way to go. 6 rounds. And obviously, it's extended this year. So it's only a 6-point gap to 4th at the moment. So somebody has a round like Wolf, they're straight back up there. So I'll say somebody from outside that top 3 will get in by the end of the season, I think.
You heard it here first, folks. That's Hadlington's prediction for the SCS season to the conclusion there. Of course, a long way to go. Of course, this match goes. These matches, the last sort of 4 or 5, go into next year. So again, March, I believe, the last round at Bellevue, Manchester. But again, so switching gears, chaps. I think it's time to bring on our guest. If that's what we're doing now, I believe. Yes, I believe so. Yeah, we are indeed. So we have his little graphic that Mr. Tank has kindly put together for us. So if he wants to bring up on screen now, or is he having tech issues again? Nope, there it is. Okay, so this rider had his debut season in season 13. He's ridden for 6 seasons for 3 different teams, and there's all his stats that he has. He has 1 league title, 2 KO Cup titles, 1 pairs title, 1 5-team tournament title, The Neil Potter Shield, he's won that twice, and the BLRC best place he finished was 3rd, and best place finished in the World Championships was 2nd place. Currently riding for the Birmingham Scorchers. We welcome in Sizzler. Good evening, sir.
Hello, gents. How are we?
Doing good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Right, the first question I want to bring up is, if I can find on my list, let's go back to season 14 and that invincible Phoenix side.
Yeah.
What are your memories of that?
It was everyone got on. Yeah, everyone clicked together that season. Just the joy riding that season, and I think we could have raced anybody as we did.
Can you remember who was in the team that year?
Yeah, Paris.
Yep.
101.
Yep.
Rico.
Yep.
Have I missed one?
Powis, Rico's 101. That's
Steph.
3.
Steph.
4. Yep. 4.
Dicky.
Yep.
Myself.
Yep.
One more. Apple.
That's the one. Everyone's favourite. I was going to say everyone's favourite Geordie.
I was trying. I had
Everyone's...
thoughts because we went at the end of the season. We all met up and went out for a night out, and I was trying to think who was there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He just turned up.
Oh, we've also forgot the question, the answer to the Spear question that you gave us. Who was Wolverhampton's first opponents when they opened up Monmore Green?
It was Manchester.
Hey, there you go. Badger got it right. All those years ago, 1928.
Google got it right.
Google got it right.
Yeah, I agree. Because if it just said Bellevue, surely.
Yeah, I would have probably said that. Just want to like touch on that that topic of Wolverhampton, of course, being there for so many years. Being a diehard Wolverhampton supporter that I know you've been. What was your best memory of Monmore?
Oh God, riding there as a mascot, special. Riding there as a cub, never forget that. My earliest memory is I was very, very young, standing on the 3rd turn with my mom and my cousin, racing all the little kids around in circles, pretending to be Southern Sam. Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
The first time in a long time in the Olympic 2 weeks ago, I got to get very close to where I stood, my first ever meeting. Yeah, and it was a little bit. It did bring a tear to my eye. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think when you lose a track, that you've been so connected to. It was I was the same with Exeter when they left.
We've all lost the tracks, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
We have indeed.
Ulysses.
Yeah, we have.
Our family
Wow.
have been to the waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
got
back. I'm sure you will be. We've got a question from Scotty B to you, Sis. If he could change anything in the game, a maximum of 3 things, what would that be?
I've always talked about having a draft. I know you like to ride with people who do, but I think that'd even a lot of things up, to be honest with you. Jesus.
It's a good question. It's a good question for Scotty, isn't it?
I'd bring back Ads and Perry to the committee. I would, because I think they brought a lot to it, and I do think the game's running a lot better now, and I think it's a lot smoother, and that's credit to them. But I do think that Ads brought a lot to the game when he was on the committee. I don't do a fat lot, I'll admit it. And Perry's is Mr. STS, very similar to Tank. I think if either of them two wasn't on the game, I think the game would be very different. or might not even be going.
Blimey.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Third thing, not a clue.
Yep.
Third thing, I'll get Owen back racing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But yeah.
Had you got your question for Sis, mate? Or yeah, have you got yours?
I have, mate, indeed. Evening, Sis.
Hello, mate.
When I know we spoke about it with Don's last week. Obviously, you rode at V2 with Owen as well.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the V2 not being allowed into the game this season?
I actually broke the track record there, so I want it back.
Good answer.
It was Craig held it for years and years and years, and then I beat it. And then that meeting, I got 3-3, broke the track record last.
Ah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll bring it back. Without fail, I'll bring it back. I don't understand why it's not in it.
Everyone has their thoughts on V2. Everyone has their thoughts.
If I couldn't ride it, I'd say leave it where it is.
Mm.
But yeah, I'd bring it back.
You've started in season 13 and ended on a 5.8 average, but have been constantly in 8-pointers since. What happened after that first season that improved your game?
I think it goes against what I've just said about a draft. I was in a team with the first year I was under Perry and Craig, and they helped me massively, a lot. And then the second season, having no pressure whatsoever, and having, potentially either 3 current number ones, well, one nearly not a number one in Perry, who will be a number one soon. I guess when the averages could change in 101 and Steph. You could just go out there and enjoy yourself, and they were so helpful. And in practice servers, which is kind of what I'm experiencing a little bit at the moment, I think it's no disrespect to the riders who you race with, but when I was racing in that season, to try and win a race in a server was hard. When you've got the Steph 101 and Paris, who were seasoned number one pros, should we say. So yeah, you had no choice but to improve. And then now, obviously, we've had a few moments where we haven't got all our riders, and there's always me and Liam Owen in practice a lot. But if one of us makes the gate or what have you, the lads behind follow, sort of thing. And then when you get to a meeting and other riders are riding slightly different lines or trying to block you, yeah, it's a bit of a head scramble.
Wow. Of course, looking at your stats here on the team history, you spent 3 seasons with the Phoenix. You've got 2 seasons with the Scorchers and 1 for the Piemen. Looking at that Hyde Road Phoenix averages that you had, and of course, yeah, you look at Stefan, Stephen, so 101 Powers. Your top 3 there was pretty much no one unbeatable at Hyde. Shad, your question for Sizzler?
Yeah, Sid. All right, mate. I have to ask you about season 15, which I'm led to believe wasn't the greatest experience for you.
No.
We went on with BW and him losing the captaincy, and you actually finished rock bottom of the league that season. What happened? What went wrong? What can you tell us?
Going from, I understand, which is a great chap. We talk about Speedway and that off the game a lot, about normal, general, and about football, Wolves football as well, about football Wolves fans. But going from the season before being so successful and literally practicing most nights and what have you, Bewitcher tried his best that year to try and get people on and what have you, and it was just very difficult. Yeah, and it was just hit and miss all the time, and really difficult, to be honest with you. There was other things away from the game that was happening, which I'm not going to go into because it's not my place to say. But yeah, I did have a chat with Bewitcher after the season and told him, right, just not what I thought and what have you. Still chatting what have you now, it's not a problem. Just,
You
yeah,
actually finished. You actually finished top of the averages, didn't you? He was an 8-pointer, number one.
that's all right.
You had a number. You ended up at number one, didn't you? You were top of the averages by the
Yeah.
end of the season. So yeah, you had a decent season, but just the team didn't click. You know what you're saying? It just didn't click.
No, I think I'll be completely honest with you. I found it hard that season going from one extreme to the next, and I think if Owen wasn't in the team, I think I might have just had a break from the game for a bit, but I carried on because he was hooked and absolutely loved it. And in all fairness, he got through that season, sort of thing. And Baz was brilliant that season. I'll be honest with you, he helped a lot, and he was he was good in practice and helped out, and he was good with Owen. So was Bewitched, to be fair, but it was just hit and miss, very hit and miss, up and down all the time. Yeah.
Any chance of Owen coming back, or would you just lost interest now? He's mid-teens now, isn't he?
He's 15 now, yeah. So
Yeah, so it's a dodgy age for you don't want to be mixing with us old farts. He wants to be doing his own thing.
I think if the bike patch had come out a little bit earlier, I think he'd have signed up, because he didn't see it till late, and he had to go on. He had to go on a server. There was something. Craig opened the server, and me and Perry was on testing the bikes, and he come and had a go, and it was about 4 days after the sign-ups had finished. You regret it though, yeah. He has strolled for us this season as a guest, and he top scored for us that meeting. But yeah,
yes, I remember that. Yeah.
He's teaching to get back on.
So looking ahead now, I heard you were on holiday when Scorchers were track testing. Did you have any input on the track choice, and what do you think about Birmingham as a home track?
I was happy wherever. Every team I rode for, I'll give my point if I like the track or not. But then at the same time, I do say, let everybody else decide what track it is, and then I'll just learn it and spend. I do like to do a lot of practice on my own pre-season, and and then I'll just go on with the team, what have you. I think it's been a good place for us to go after last season's. Ipswich was a wrong choice, and I think every one of us forget having that after last season. And it proved this week. Well, I say it proved, I was crap, but it proved this week that when we've got a full team, we can beat anybody, and that's been our problem.
Yeah, we actually looked at Birmingham when we were track testing. We thought, oh, it's a one-liner, but then after looking at it and watching recordings, and it's a pretty good racetrack.
Yeah, you've got. Yeah, I'm gonna say too much, but you have 2 lines. Yeah. I never rode.
We found one.
Yeah, I never found any of them this week. That's for sure. I was embarrassing.
Even I passed. You see,
mate. You know, I changed this week. I've changed bike. I've changed line. In practice, up to that meeting, I was in 0.6, 0.7, and I was like, "Oh, this will be good." I got in the meeting, it was awful. During the meeting, I was like, "What's going on here?" I was doing a practice during the meeting in 0.6, 0.7. Then it got to the race. I think the fastest I went was, I think it was 0.3. I was about half a second slower.
You've got the luck of the draw of getting Cowboys, Warriors, and Storm first 3 home meetings. You know,
Yeah.
you got the hard ones out of the way. Oh, he had.
Yeah.
No comment.
Is that?
I think I honestly think that's just the ads after the meeting. I think if we'd have had JC, especially that meeting against Hads, I think we'd have either got a point or we'd have won. I think we hardly scored anything off JC's rides, I think. And obviously JC being his old home track, I don't think they've scored what we got, the ride replacement. And I think it'd have been a lot. I think we could have won that meeting, to be honest with you. The meeting before, I think I scored 17. Again, that meeting we had no Limo, no JC. And I think if we had both of them, it puts it closer again. And it's just, I think it's just been that's what's been our Achilles heel, should we say, this season so far.
Right. I think we've got time for just one more question, since we are sort of approaching like 9:45. We've got to get the previews of next week done as well. About the GPs, you've generally performed well in the GP series, but this season you find yourself 6th after 2 rounds, 14 points off the top. Have you found it tougher than previous seasons?
No. Basically, it's just down to not practicing. But the first round, I did a lot of practice and scored 6. And then the last round, I started practicing about 5 to 8, and I made the final.
Is that like the go-to thing? Is it now? You leave it late as possible to get track time, and then you get through to the final.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as with the scorchers. This week I've practiced loads and scored 4. The week before, when I scored 17, I did 1 session. And that was it. So I don't know whether I'm practicing too much, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. Chaps, any last questions you got for Sis before we wrap it up?
Yeah, if you could void with one teammate you've voted with previously, and you could put them in your current team, who would it be?
Oh, bloody hell. Do I be a good dad? When it's the same as when I'm in his football team. If the team's doing well, we are brilliant together. If we lose, it's World War III in our house. My missus actually walked out the house at 9:30, and we're in an argument. If I had to pick one, I want to be a bad dad. It'd have to be my mate. Everyone knows who my best mate is, Paris. We always get on. Every time we've rowed together, we've always won things and what have you. Yeah, I'd have to say Perry.
Powers, nice. Shad, you got any last questions for Sis?
No, I think he answered everything. I was going to ask him what his favourite track was, but it's obviously Birmingham.
Nah, Hackney.
Hackney.
Oh yeah, of course. It's everyone's favourite track this year, apart from the Norths.
Whoa.
All right, I'm just looking in chat. Fecky's not in.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, anyway, Sis, it's been great having you on board, mate. Thanks for obviously popping in to do this for us. Any last words from yourself, mate?
Yeah. When are you going to get back on dirt so we can reignite a Friday night swearing fest with yourself? We all know which race that was.
I remember it well. Yes. I don't even mind. And yes, Latvia, that fucking jump. Well, at the moment, Sis, I'm more of a PC person, so I'm more of a. But if push comes to shove and we get a free sort of time, I might fire it back up again and relive a nightmare. Oh my god!
I definitely think we should do a night and get everybody who used to do it on there for one night. It'd be a laugh.
Oh yes, definitely.
But yeah,
Dev put it on the group chat or something. I'll put it and say who's got dirt. Let's go back on there and split some heads.
or just write off some cars like we did.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it? That was great. Tank says Winchester keeping it PC on the podcast as well as gaming. Yeah, I agree with that, mate. That's for sure. But anyway, Sis, it's been great having you, mate. And once again, thanks for popping in. And good luck for the rest of the season, mate.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Sis. See you, mate.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Oh, that was great from Sis there. I believe we have one final break before we go into the previews of next week's the league matches coming up. So I believe it's STS question time, and I believe that Shad, you have this question this time.
Yes. Question is, and Barker, Badger, no cheating. Can you name the sons of 2 current Storm team members who have raced in the British League?
Ooh, so there's a tickle for your brains there, chap.
Can you name the sons of 2 current Storm team members who have raced in the British League?
And with that being said, we will see you in 5 minutes for the preview of the league campaign coming up. So stick around. And we are back for the final part of All Four Back with myself, Haddington83, and Shaz. And of course, the question was, can you name the two sons of current two Storm members? Shaz, put us out of misery.
It is Lango Jr. I think he rode in season 3 for Storm. Lango, season 3, yeah. And my son, Buster 1, who rode one meeting for Eye Candy in season 6.
Wow. Hopefully Lango can confirm the that stat.
And Buster was worse than me.
Oh, oh wow!
He scored 1 point. The only rider he beat was Baz Hobnob.
Well, that was pretty good. He beat Hobnob. So we are looking now into the, obviously as we do all the time in these meetings, is to discuss the upcoming league fixtures, which I believe is being put on our screen right now. Yeah. Okay. So wow, this is so cool. This is so cool. I love this tank. So first of all, we have on the 28th of October at 8:30 is the Dynamite against the Hackney Norse, and we see there the two teams that will take to the track for both Dynamite and the Norse. And Hads, of course, you now move to number 5. So your team there looking very, very strong with number 7 Suda coming in as well.
Yeah, that's just in the average order, I believe. So
green sheet order according to Tank. So yes,
green sheet order. Yeah.
Yep.
That's not changed from the start of the season as yet. So I'll still be in the number 2 or 6 position. Well, actually, I won't, but I won't go into that.
Not give too much away.
Don't want to give too much away, obviously now. But when you got Super Dip, riding the way he is at the moment, and Neil's always good for points as well, especially at home. Under a bit of pressure to get out of this reserve spot, to be honest. So can't see it happening too soon. So hopefully I can rack up a few points lower down the team, maybe second half of the season.
And of course, now with the Hackney Norse, of course, they came into the league with the assessed averages. They're now going to get like proper averages now in terms of what they're going to have. So again, that will allow Fakey to put some twists and turns on the team sheet. But you're going into that meeting, of course, Hackney, they're at the bottom, haven't had a win yet. Does that put more pressure on you guys as Dynamite to get the win?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we're only one spot above them in their league as well. So obviously, we'd like to get that win and move up the table a little bit before the halfway. So yeah, we'll be looking to obviously win that one, and we can't take them lightly. Is what I've told. I've already told the lads, just do what you do, practice how we've normally been practicing for normal home meetings, because sooner or later they're going to spring a surprise and score over that 40 points, and obviously we don't want to be the first team to let them do that against us. So yeah, we'll be looking for the full 3 points, hopefully.
Impressed, of course, that match will be as part of the 20th of October at 8:30. So moving on to the 31st of October, so a Halloween-themed match. And that is the Pie Men against the Scorchers. And Shads, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I like the Pie Men at home. They seem to all be dialed into that track now. And it's not a Sunday, so Dons will probably be riding. I know he has trouble on Sundays. He does go-karting or something, so, as he said in the
yes,
interview.
of course. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I quite heavily fancy the Pie Men for this one. I know Scorcher beat us the other night, but I think Pie Men at home, and they gave us a really tough meeting in the last league match at Hyde Road before the cup against them. I mean, it's only the last heat. We got a 5-1 that stopped them getting a point. So I'm looking at a quite a tasty Berwick Pyman home win. I'd say by about 10 to 12 points.
Hadlington, do you agree with that? A 10 to 12 points win for the Piemen?
I do think they'll get the home win, but I don't think it'll be a bye as much. Obviously, it depends on the availability of the Scorchers as well. They seem to have struggled with the availability a little bit on the away matches. But I think if they have got a full team, I think they can push it within to 6 points, 6 to 8 points at least.
Yeah,
I think a match point would be good. Would be a good result for the Scorchers.
And Shads, your prediction for Dynamite against Norsk?
Dynamite against North. I think it's going to be another big win, but I don't think Redcar will be getting 58, 59 points. I think they'll win. I think they'll win pretty comfortably. 20 points or so, 24 points. I can't see Morse doing much.
49 is the magic number, as they say.
I think Dynamite have definitely stepped up the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I think they're on a bit of a roll now. So I think they'll win that quite easily. I'm being nice to you this week, Hads.
Oh, brilliant! And then, of course, the big one, top of the table clash: High Storm against the current league leaders, the Somerset Warriors. And this one, if Storm can have all their riders involved, so Craig, Powys, Ads, Skyrider.
What you mean if you could have 7 riders to their 6? That'd be nice.
Would be nice, yeah, but definitely. Warriors will have their work cut out if the Storm do take their full team to the track again at High Road. But I know the Warriors. I used to ride at Somerset, all but briefly, and they're no slouches. I mean, they've got Zagar, who's he's a number 1, but he's still finding his footing. Once he gets going, I think he'll be difficult to catch. Racer Ryan's bang on form at the right time, so he'll be at probably number 5 or 6. So he'll probably be banging in the points in the bottom end of the team. Interesting to see how the middle order for the Warriors do, because normally in big meetings like this, your middle order is the one that you want to look for, because they're like the engine room of the team. Of course, with there being only 6 riders in a team rather than 7, even though the sheet in front of you says there's 7 riders on a spreadsheet, but there's only 6 at the present moment. Of course, that could change in the near future. Again, Warriors. It's hard to call this one really, because obviously both teams are doing well. Like I said, they're top of the table for a reason. I want to be nice to Shads, but then I want to be sort of nice to the Warriors, because Shads is Storm.
I'd rather you were honest.
Now you put them on the spot. I mean, all this hype, a 45 all draw would be sufficient, being the top two teams in the league. If I had to go for an actual outright winner, I'd probably say Warriors, but not by much. Because obviously their team looking unbeatable on paper. They're top of the league unbeaten as well. So I think the Warriors would win, but not by much. I'd probably say maybe a 2 or 4 points. It'll go right down. It'll go right down to Heat 15, I reckon. This match. But again, it all depends how much practice Craig does, how Powys is riding, if Ads is gonna spring surprise and take the boys for a walk. Of course, they were missing Skyrider, I believe, their last match, they're missing Ads last match, which is when they had that first league defeat. But again, looking at that Warriors team, they're looking pretty much unstoppable. It'll all come down to obviously gate in and track positioning and everything like that. So, but again, I'll have it down for I'd love to see a 45 all draw. Don't get me wrong, I'd love for 45 all draw. But if I had to pick someone to win outright, I'd say Warriors by 2 or 4. it'll go right down to Heat 15. I'm sure it will. I don't know about you guys. Had your thoughts on that one?
I think you were right when you said the middle order is the key to this one for me, especially if they can get Ads and Sky in the middle of the team with the availability. And if Lango, I know he's had a couple of exclusions recently. I don't know if that's connection problems or he's just gone in the fence when they haven't, when the other team's been on a 5-1. But I think if Storm have a full team, I'm going for a Storm win.
Oh, you think they might end Warriors' unbeaten run? Wow.
I'll say that because obviously the last couple of results, I know we beat them in the Knockout Cup, which obviously they didn't have a full team. Last week they lost the first league match, but they'll be determined to bounce back, I reckon. So I'm going to go for a Storm victory.
Oh, Shad's having to put pressure on you there, mate, to get a home win there.
Well, yeah. Well, I think this meeting's going to define our season. I think this is whoever wins this one, I think will probably go on and win the league.
So we are hoping to have that meet.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you any predictions because I don't know what sort of team they're going to be putting out. But if they've got their top 6 out, I think it's going to be very hard for us. I'm just I'm fearing the worst but hoping for the best.
And just had some information through from Tank. The new green sheet average is coming into effect after the following week's fixtures, which is the week 10, commencing Sunday the 12th of November 2023, as everyone will have ridden 6 meetings each, if he hasn't got that wrong. So 3 big matches for week 8. And of course, we've got to put in the SCS GP and all that. So, but yeah, it's been those 3. I think the Warriors Storm match will be the sort of pick of the bunch of that one. No disrespect to you, Hadlington, for Redcar, but I still feel that Storm vs Warriors will be the top match on that weekend, or on that night. Thursday, 2nd of November at 9 p.m. Storm vs Warriors. But of course, first we head to Dynamite on the 28th on Sunday, 8:30 against the Hackney Norsk. Then the 31st of October, 9 p.m. Piemen versus Scorchers. And then the 2nd of November, the Hyde Storm against the Somerset Warriors. So I believe the team that has the bye week is the who's
Cowboys.
Cowboys, that's it. Yeah, Edinburgh Cowboys. And of course, I didn't see Steph's name on the program.
Which gives Stephen a nice little week to practice for the GP.
Of course it does. I think that's why he's done it. He'll be on there every day, I reckon. I mean, we are going to try and get Stefan at some point this year, but we might have to potentially pre-record his interview because obviously he's doing some other stuff on a Friday. I think something to do with like a poker thing or something. I don't know, whatever he does on a Friday night. So we are going to get him eventually. It might have to be pre-recorded and then
gambling away points money.
Yes. Well, he hasn't got much points at the moment, so he hasn't been riding very well.
Ouch! Oh, that's probably why he's playing. That's probably why he's playing poker.
Yeah, shots fired. Oh dear.
There goes our chance of getting in for an interview then.
Tank says he's definitely got a poker face in the chat.
Wow. Well, but apart from that, chaps, I think it's been a great night tonight. I think it's about time we wrap it up as paranormal, but a bit over this match or over this meeting because obviously I started at 8:30 rather than 8 o'clock because of work commitments. But any last words from you, chaps?
Up the Dynamite.
Yeah, thanks for those who hung on to the bitter end, and cheers to Tank for producing.
The graphics are looking.
He's been working very hard on these.
Yeah, top-notch Tank. I've already asked him to send through the music for the the two spreadsheets because they sound pretty good. I might use them for my streaming.
Does he do requests?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Might have to be a bit of a pre-meeting thing before the things actually starts. But chaps, it's been great tonight. I say same time again. Well, hopefully same time tomorrow, next week. If all else changes, it could be an 8 o'clock again next week. So I think I'm day off on that week. I'm not sure though. I have to double check my rotors. But yeah, it's been great tonight, Chad, lads. And obviously we've got the matches coming up. As long as I can get it as rawly free, YouTube doesn't like licensed songs. That's a good point there, Tank. Yes, good point. So with that being said, time to wrap it up. So it's going to be a good night from Shads.
Good night, all.
It's a good night from Hadlington.
Good night, everyone.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. Good night, folks. We'll see you all again here next week. Take it easy.